So that's that. So you graduate and also you perform really well.
Yes.
And you decide to join in Outbox.
Yes.
By the way, first year you do something around Makerere. Why? Was it an internship?
That was internship. So when I did my internship, I was retained.
Yeah.
I was retained, and so I continued to study while finishing my. I continued to work.
Yes.
While completing my academics.
Yeah.
So that like you may have seen, that was 1 year, 1 year and 2 months.
Yes.
Yes. So that was in my last year at the university. So in my year 4 I was working.
Okay. So
Yes.
Were you like an associate? Were you like a assistant lecturer? What was it?
Now I was I was a systems administrator, systems and networks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you set up the lab, you make sure that the servers are running
Exactly.
the right way and stuff like that.
Exactly.
What did you learn from that, Chief?
Technically, or
like now you're in school, right? You're finishing your school, and now you're doing the real stuff.
So one of the things I used to do, I used to do a lot of configurations. We had, of course, you're dealing with students, thousands of computers you can think about.
IPs and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. And so one of the things, I did a lot of configurations. If you saw on my profile, like you read, I now lead the the Google Cloud developer community.
Yeah.
Now that attributed a lot to my love for cloud computing and all that.
Yeah.
By then, it wasn't more of the cloud related.
But it gave you
Yes.
like a light to what it means when things go to
Exactly.
cloud.
So you move that to the cloud.
Yeah.
All those configurations and all that,
Yeah.
you'd experience them in when you get to cloud.
Yes.
So I happened to learn a lot, around cloud computing and all that. So that's one of the reasons as to why I really.
The reason why I asked you what did you learn is because I understand some people or some students find themselves in an internship. They are doing computer science or software engineering or sometimes IT or BBIT.
Yes.
But they end up cooking coffee for the office guys, for the 6 months. Because at the end of the day, what do the lecturer need? A paper showing that they were interning in certain place.
That was one of the reasons as to why I actually turned down one of the telecos in Kampala.
So
I applied
you had
for
that offer.
Yes, I had an offer to go and work with, to go and do my internship with a teleco. And someone told me it's going to be more of, they're not going to, remember these guys are doing business. They're not going to give you the core things to do. Since they're doing business, they're not willing to,
They can't risk you breaking up things.
Exactly. They can't risk losing money because of you, because of an intern.
And that's the reality on the ground.
Exactly. So they would give you, simple roles. While I was working at Outbox, my boss actually told me there is this student who wants to do internship. Can you come and can you see if you can put her somewhere?
Yeah.
So I asked this lady to come. We talked. I interviewed her, and so simply what I asked, I told her, I do not want it to happen like what is happening out there.
Yes.
I need to know what you can do and where you need to, where I should put you, so that we see that you're actually you're trying to achieve.
You're maximizing your strengths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be here, sit, and more of do. It's going to be like office administrative work.
Yeah.
Considering the kind of, you're a technical person. You want something related to IT and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So she did not, I really did not see what I would give her. And I simply said, no, this cannot be, So a person like that would say, okay, you denied me an opportunity to work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I did not see where I would give him. I mean, what I would give him. And it happens a lot out there.
Yeah.
For example, if you're working with, I'll give an example of a teleco.
Yeah.
They may take you to call center.
Yes.
You're simply receiving people's calls and, responding to them. Though, it may now, so there are people who are really, really, really good. And if they can really demonstrate that they are good,
they can be absorbed.
then a few of those can be absorbed by those telecalls and all that. So I'm not really trying to paint the telecalls and all that, those other companies as completely bad. But a good number of people would end up where they don't want. You must be really, really good to be absorbed in where you want to be.
Yeah. For sure, you brought a very, very important thing, and I wanted to ask this. I know that has not changed a lot because, of course, these are people in business. They can't risk it all for someone. What do you think can change? Do you think maybe it's about time maybe you embrace mentorship, though I don't believe so much in mentorship? Should we start embracing apprenticeship where, as much as you're interning, you can see how things are done, you can ask questions. As much as you're not doing it, you really understand the processes because that you learn a lot from that.
So let's look at someone who has done with the university. They've come out to work.
Yes.
One of the things we are facing right now
Yeah.
is actually the apprenticeship that people should be looking at. So what happens is when you get out there, people want the guys who know. Just like I mentioned, they want students who are coming and they know, and yet they're asking for 3 years of experience and all that. You see, we have let's look at companies like Andela, the Tungas and all that.
Yeah.
Andela, you may know that Andela actually closed in Uganda.
Yes, I know about that.
So Tunga, I would say Tunga is a bit of struggling with the same kind of, with the same kind of, they're having the same kind of experience.
Yeah.
You want developers to work for for companies abroad, in the US and all that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that about 80%.
Yeah.
From the last survey we did, we're looking at 78%
Yeah.
of the developers in Uganda being being the average age you would see is 27.
Yes, yes.
27, a person at 27 may not have all that experience that you need.
Yes, yes.
So that's a junior developer. So people are starting, they still do not have a lot of experience for you to put them there.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things we have worked out, trying now to build is that apprenticeship. Can we have people work on projects that, can put them in a place where they can, they can say, I have experience.
Yes, yes.
I have one of my students, actually, one of the students who came to me and said, I want to begin working on, real life projects, and I'm actually supposed to go and meet her this evening.
Yeah.
So now, what I told her to do is to start working on a project.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a project, and that should be something that you can say, I built this from.
It's your portfolio.
I do not expect this student. I'm not going to give her these timelines of, deliver this by this time and all that. But I want her to get the experience, and with the time, she will learn and, and get out there.
Yeah.
And I told her, by the time she leaves the university, she must be somewhere.
Yeah.
She has been working on projects. There's actually a web platform that we have been building, and it's what we are going to review. So if we can have more of these students, now we have community. If you look at the tech community, there's a lot of learning. People are learning. There's this tech event here and there. So we're saying, we have done a lot of the trainings, a lot of learning and all that. Can we now look at those projects? Building. Can we now build? And you say, I have this platform. I built this, and now how we want to get these guys into this is to now. If you look at, for example, last year, one of the things we didn't do was to do with a lot of hackathons.
Yeah.
Now, if you're to look at our work plan this year, we have more of these hackathons coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're saying, can we have these teams? Can we bring teams together to begin building, and we guide them on what they need to do?
Yeah.
So there is a lot of that. What we are lacking at the moment is that apprenticeship. We want to see people who have built so that they are able to be put on those, those projects that the people in the US and all that need.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting aspect of Broad now that we're talking about the ecosystem.
Yes.
And I think with that, actually, it's going to change a lot of things for sure. But I want to know, because you have not started building this ecosystem yesterday, I can see here you started this back in 2013, just immediately after graduating.
Yes.
You're community manager at Outbox. Outbox was one of the first innovation hub in Uganda.
Yes.
I think even we had a chat back in the day, trying to do an event here, and then Pivot East was big. There was, this event that were trying to fund innovation.
I was actually a judge at Pivot East.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now you see. So I was presenting a project there back
Okay.
I was still running communities, developers to be specific. We had sponsored Pivot East, I think, back in 2015 or 2014. I can't remember. It's a bit of time passed by. So when you look at the ecosystem then, the challenge was too much hype. A lot of things were happening at the same time, but no one was focusing, and the key result, like right now, you can say, you know what, we have these workshops, we have these meetups, we have different technologies being taught, capacity building, but right now is about people building, people putting in work, which means now that changes the dynamics of the products that we expect, right?
Yes.
And even if someone is hiring here, they will be sure that, the talent is right, the market is right, and even the pay sometimes is right, when you combine all those factors.
Yes.
Do you think we have learned from all these mistakes over the years? And if there are these mistakes, what are the mistakes around Uganda or Kampala?
So that's in line with people building.
In line with the developer ecosystem.
So if I'm to take us back, first of all, in Uganda, if you look at, you're talking about the events that used to happen.
Yes.
Things started around then. When I joined Outbox, I think the only, if you're to look at, for example, a hackathon, we had only had one hackathon in Uganda. But which happened in 2012. 2012, that was Garage 48.
Ah, yes.
The Garage 48 hackathon.
Yes.
So now from then, we used to have some meetups, which used to happen. There was a .NET user group.
Yeah.
Then there was a group of girls that used to celebrate, I think, women in technology.
Was it Python Girls something?
No, it wasn't Python. I've forgotten the name. But that was back then.
But the reason I've mentioned this, a shout out to Joanna Katushabe. She used to do Pythonistas kind of events. Thought maybe there was Python Girls something going on. She came to Nairobi and she was really big. I think right now she's in Canada or UK. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's in Canada.
Doing amazing stuff.
She's in Canada.
Yeah.
Jonah was my classmate.
Oh.
She was
okay.
She was my classmate, and I think in the evening class there were only two ladies.
Very smart lady, that one. Yeah.
She is.
Very
She's
smart.
a great woman.
Yeah. Shout out to Joanna. If you listen to this, please let me know when I'm coming to Canada so I can do something and talk about it, because I know that's a journey altogether.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what she was doing in Nairobi? Aviation.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
She really, I think her story, she used to love a lot of, aviation. Joining, I think tech was not her thing.
Yeah.
She loved aviation, but she couldn't have it. So she decided to, pursue software engineering.
And then do
later on,
yeah.
we had an event with her, and she was saying, I fly planes during my free time.
You see. Now, it's this very interesting aspect for most people I've talked to, and I'll give my story later on. I wanted to become a pro DJ.
Okay.
But I was told, you know what, this is not happening. You know how African parents and DJing doesn't, even today. Not so many parents who have embraced the artistic part of things. And I know, now I understand why, because I've seen the industry in its entirety. And when I finished my degree, that's when I just joined an academy, train a little bit, and on my free time, I DJ.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, so I
That's
understand
interesting.
our journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So to take you back, when we started, one of the things we would see is that people would come for meetups. Developers come for meetups. Meetups were happening monthly. One of the things we started to do was to actually do a survey, understand what is it that these developers need. Why is it that a developer that is, part of this community will come and attend an event this month and will not show up the next month and probably wait for a couple of months and come back.
Yeah.
So we realized that the content that was being delivered was not necessarily something that would help them. Looking at the ecosystem that we have right now, with very many young people yearning to, learn and develop, we saw that they needed more of things that would help them learn from the beginning, put them at a level where they can take off on their own. Now, that is what wasn't happening. So people would come to community and disappear. Then, when these meetups used to have, you come and there's pizza, drinks, and, a lot of that.
And free swag.
So free swag, that is what a number of people were coming for. So we decided that, okay, one of the things now we need to embrace is actually getting through programs. Can we begin having programs that have, people can learn?
Yes.
And you say, at the end of this, say, boot camp, I have learned this, and, I can now start building.
Yeah.
Now, what you add on is more of like, giving you additional knowledge that you can, that can take you to that level. So when people started embracing that, we started seeing results.
Yeah.
Talk about, consistency and all that. People became consistent. The ones who are really consistent with the community programs that you are running became very successful at the end of the day. So I used to I would receive feedback from developers. Someone sends me a certificate that they got from, and they tell me it's through your community that I was able to achieve this.
Yeah.
So for me, it was really things that you would not see that at the beginning. After being a community manager at Outbox, I went into capacity development.
Yeah.
So mine was now more around capacity development.
Yeah.
Now, what the developers that was one area where the developers were lacking. When you begin thinking about something, please build to start something and take it to completion.
Yeah.
There was also, people who are trying to learn. Developer A runs to, web development. There's a next event which is coming up. It's about, Android development. They want to jump in there.
Yeah.
So people are mingling several things at the same time. So it takes them a longer time to actually grasp something and,
Become an expert in it.
Become an expert in it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, someone needs, again, a bit of panel beating to help them get to where they want to be.
Yes.
When we embraced things to do with, the hackathons, along the way, we also got several other events. People now coming in to actually support community. I can tell you then, the local companies we have did not believe in our developers.
Yes.
They did not.
Yes.
So along the way, we now started seeing also intake of the local developers.
That is locally.
Yes, locally.
Yeah.
But you'd see, this company has outsourced, this software and paying millions of money.
Sometimes billions.
Yes.
But a local developer, they not believe that.
Exactly. They do not believe in them. So when we started,
and by the way, just to make the record straight.
Yes.
I think also it's an African thing. I don't know if it's an African or human thing. Until today, there are even governments that ship software from all these places, but they forget the local ecosystem requires their support. Because if you don't put these resources locally, sometimes it hurts. And that's one of the things that you have discovered with Africa's Talking Developer Ecosystem. And right now, what you're trying to do is to ensure that we have that capacity locally in case a customer requires a custom-built solution or they require integration, the developer, that ecosystem, they have the capacity to build that. And with that, you see that now it starts, piggybacking to building.
So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And we have seen, I think over time, we still see a bit of, outsourcing and all that. But I think right now we have companies are now trying to, embrace and appreciate the developers that we have locally. Maybe what I would say now for the developers is that, we need to focus on more of, getting to learn. We need to, like every year, we all see that, technology is changing every
month. Are you talking about here? Since you graduated, how many languages have come up?
Quite a number now.
And taken over, not just coming up, taken over. Right now we are talking about ChatGPT. We are talking about AI machine learning.
Exactly.
Not at the research stage. When we were in school, it was about research.
Yes.
We talked about it in books and all that. Right now you can use it. It can tell you. It can write you an advert in real time. It can write you code that can compile and run in your machine.
Yes. So one of the things I think I don't have to forget is that again, while we left the university, I keep telling people that if I went back to the university right now, I would be in a very good place to actually come up with, my startup and make money out of it. Now, while leaving the university, I would already, have a startup that I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
Now, for us, we used to have now innovations. These days, hear people are talking about innovation centers within the universities and all that.
Yeah.
We did not have them then. So to understand how someone actually comes up with an idea was a problem. Was a very big problem. But we have several opportunities.
Yeah.
We have several opportunities that any developer, just to let you know if you don't, that every year Makerere University alone, leave alone the other universities, Makerere University alone, 14,000 people graduate from it.
That is software engineering or just a total of 14,000 graduates?
Exactly. So,
a total or just software engineers?
No. Not software engineering.
All
generally.
The graduates?
Yes, the graduates.
Oh, okay.
In terms of software engineering, maybe 300, something. That's really a small number.
Yeah.
But we do not have these jobs
to give these people.
We do not have these jobs to give these people.
Yeah. And these are smart people.
Yes, these are smart people.
Yeah.
But if they do not understand the innovation bit of things, then there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So a brilliant student who comes out of the university should be thinking of, coming up with a startup and making money out of that.
Yeah.
Those are things for us we didn't think about. We didn't really know them.
Yeah.
I remember one of the systems we built at the university was a solid waste management system. This solid waste management system, every time I went to Mbarara University, I went to judge at their ICS awards. Consecutively 3 years, I would find a similar solid waste management system. But none of them has been deployed anywhere. So, why?
Let me ask a controversial question. They normally say the biggest business in any country, in any given country, is the government. So that comes with the responsibility of reinvesting in the ecosystem. What is the key role of the government in ensuring that some of these systems, and these are at the college level or the university level, I'm sure even, I don't know if you guys have science congress here, maybe in high schools where people come and present different exhibits, they win, and all that.
Yes, they are there.
There are all those solutions.
Next week, I'm going to actually be judging at one of those.
Yeah. So, what is the role of government to ensuring that all these things, as much as they do not, give these people money, they help them implement them, because with the time, and I'll give you an example. Sweden is where it is because of the embracing innovation.
Yes.
Sweden has the most patents, maybe after US, or maybe it's in top of US. The last time I checked, actually, they were almost, on the same level. And
Okay.
it's a small country.
Okay.
Because they embrace the innovation that comes at different levels of education, as well as the government has a kitty where it invests in the innovation. Same with Israel, if I'm not wrong. But what is the role of government?
So I think one, which I won't dwell on much. I'll tell you what I think. But first of all, we have so many innovations that come up.
Yeah.
And some of them have failed. You know when they go to those exhibitions you've talked about,
Yeah.
they meet, people like ministers, and, they tell them, we need to, help you take this to the next level. And sadly, it will end there. Now you have these guys who come and they say, yeah, you have brilliant ideas. There's one of the innovators who has come to me several times, and the guy is a sharp innovator.
Yeah.
And he keeps telling me, Solomon, you see, I've even seen the president, I've seen ABCD, But we have failed. We have failed to move forward. We need, assistance to, help us, commercialize and, make money out of this.
Yeah.
When the president leaves that place, be it he has met the president, he has met, the Speaker of Parliament. I want to be very sincere. I actually told him, please leave politicians
Alone.
Leave politicians alone.